First and foremost, if not for the rate of unemployment that we have in this country, there are some kind of jobs that should be totally scrapped in this country due to the high risk that is involved, right? Because what happened to this girl, nobody will pray to encounter such a thing in his or her life, right? And I want to say that if you're the type of person that does house cleaning job, you really have to be very, very careful, right? And here's my advice for you. If you are going for any job, make sure you go there with somebody, right? Or better still, make sure that you have a weapon in your bag like pepper spray, knife, or any other thing for self-defense. Very, very important, because this girl was almost raped by the son to her client in one of her cleaning job. If you are new to my channel, kindly hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for quick updates. Let's get right into the video.
As a service provider, I think everybody needs to start going out with like weapon tools, pepper spray, lighter, any kind of thing where you know say go fit enter. Lighter, any kind of thing where you know say go fit enter your bag, pepper spray, whatever it is, carry it as a service provider, because most people you are going to render service, some of them are not nice. Good evening, everyone. Hi, I'm Akugo. If you're a service provider, this video is for you. You provide service, home service actually, whatever you do and it requires home service, your attention is needed, this video is for you. And even if you don't offer home service as well, you're a business owner, you can as well, you know, click in or clock in, whatever. I run a brand called Akugo's Home Service, where we provide service of a private chef, we run errand, and we run professional cleaning, from basic cleaning to standard and deep cleaning to post-construction cleaning. So I got a job yesterday, two jobs actually. So one came in yesterday and one other job came in this morning while I was getting ready to go to work. So because I am not so familiar with most places in Agbo, I had to start calling people to help me, you know, get someone who can actually help me go there somewhere around Orikeze. So eventually we got someone, and the person called me, we spoke, she went to the venue for the job. Mind you, the person who booked me for this job is an elderly man, and at the time that the girl got there, the person has already, like, the man had already left or met the son at home. So I told her that I want to be on that call with her for like 30 minutes. Let me supervise what she's doing, since she's also learning the job as well. She's not a professional yet. So while we're on that video call, I heard when the guy said you can't make video, something like that. So she told me that the guy said she cannot make a video. I'm like, okay, fine, if you're not allowed to make video call, at least when you're done with the job you should make a video and send it to me. She said the guy said she's not allowed to make any kind of video whatsoever, even to make calls she's not even allowed, because she's going to get distracted. I said, okay, fine, do your job, we're on about the money and nothing else. So she hung up, and I said, okay, fine, let me start with my own job, at least before I'm done, or before she's done. At least one of us should be done by 1 or 2. So she started working, and myself, I started working. Then later she called me back and said she's not comfortable, say she know they comfortable with the way the guy they move around. And at first the guy offered her a drink, and she said no, that she does not take alcohol, and if she needs anything it should be water, and she's not even tasty yet. At least maybe when she's halfway into the job she should request for water. The guy said okay, but at least come and sit down, let's have a drink, because I told her you are there strictly for jobs, don't go there and start doing any kukere and baby walangolo anything there. So on the long run, after she rejected the drink, she said she noticed when the guy went to the gate to lock up the gate, like their main gate, locked the gates and locked the sitting room door. She was like, okay, fine. The guy said, because she's supposed to start from the kitchen like me. Anytime I go for a cleaning job, I start from the kitchen first. Kitchen, then work on the toilet, and then the living area is not, it won't be a big deal for me. I know that's the last thing I'm going to do. So she said she was about cleaning the kitchen when the guy came and said he's expecting a visitor. She should come and clean his room first. So she can't look and say, okay, as per say 1 or 2, she went into the toilet and started with the toilet. So I taught her how to, you know, handle things via the cord. So she started with cleaning the toilet, washing the bathtubs, and so many things. Then later she was just hearing sound of locks, bam bam. So that was when she called me. When she called me, she texted me, and I saw a message pop up. I read it. She said, don't say anything, just mute, but listen to what I have to say, or any background conversation. So the guy locked the door, and she was like, sir, I'm not comfortable, I want to leave. The guy was like, but you're not done with your job now. So she went back into the toilet again. She continued. with the level of discomfort that she was having. Only for her to come out, she was hearing adult film. This guy dey play adult film. Like you book for service, person come clean your house, you dey on adult film, like you buy a blue film. You on blue film, you lock your parlor door, lock your gates, lock your room door, you on blue film, like you on adult film. This girl said she's not comfortable with what you're doing, like the sound is actually distracting her. I am not saying she's a saint, I'm not judging anything, but I'm just saying what happened. And then you said she should off her clothes, like you tell person wey come clean your house make she off clothes after you don lock your door, lock your gate, you on blue film. You tell her say make she come outside, like make she off her clothes, make she comot her clothes, make una two practice wetin you dey watch, that you are an adventurous person. Say you dey very adventurous, you never try that style wey you dey watch before. The girl say she no want to begin panel beat am. You beat the girl sotey now she don manage get herself. Oya, you go open door, you open your parlor door, you never even open your main gate, you go release na German Shepherd. What is the point? What are you releasing your German Shepherd for? What are you releasing German Shepherd for? Like how? Why you people so, like, when are they desperate? Why you people behaving like this? When are they behave? Too many can they run apple? You book for a service, and you book for service. The person can't clean your house. She was properly dressed. She wasn't seducing you. She was on her own. You on blue film. You dey lock door. You dey tell her somebody she come on her clothes. Say you be adventurous person. You dey carry handcuff. They come outside. Say you like BDSM a lot. So you know like. Do you know what's pissing me off? Do you know what pained me in the middle of all of this thing? I finished my job. I went there. When I got there, the sister walked in and said they should arrest his brother. Him brother don't they sleep with am, don't they grape am since when she dey SS1. For this small agbo wey we dey, for this small agbo wey una dey, not even we, I no follow una dey. For this small agbo wey una dey, you are graping your sister from SS1 till when she finish service, she just come out, you still grape am again, you beat am on top. Many of you, your fathers do not know what you people are doing. People are doing shit behind closed doors. I said this thing before, as a service provider, I think everybody needs to start going out with like weapon tools, pepper spray, lighter.
Now, first and foremost, there's a high tendency that this guy has been doing this nonsense for a long time. Right now, for the sister to come out and testify against his brother, this shows how far this guy has gone, right? And according to the narrator, she said that the sister said that the brother started raping her right from when she was in SS1. Just imagine the atrocity, imagine the evil. Right now, what pains me is the fact that this guy has not been arrested yet. Right, and I tried to find out why has this guy not been apprehended, and that was when I noticed that this girl probably she's trying to survive, right? So she's making just little money to feed and also to buy some stuff that she needs, right? So she cannot use that money to be pursuing such a case, because we know that in Nigeria to pursue such a case it will take a lot of money. So please, I'm using my platform to call on well meaningful Nigerians, to call on human rights, right, to please take up this case for this girl and make sure that she gets the justice that she deserves. Such people, they need to rot in jail, right? They need to pay for the atrocity that they have caused to a lot of Nigerians out there. This was how the Ochaya case started, and to make it worse, that one was raped by a family member. Until now, nothing has been done. A lot of people came out to protest, right? Until now, nothing came out of that case. It seemed as if they swept it under the carpet, right? And a few weeks ago, there was another one that happened in Benue State also. I'm going to post that one, today, right? A teenage girl was also raped by an elderly man. Just imagine, there are a lot of rapists in this country. A lot of people that feel that they can commit this atrocity and go scot-free with it, probably because they feel that they have money to bury the case. Right, so please and please, I'm calling on well meaningful Nigeria. Please help this girl to get the justice that she deserves. If you have the finances, if you have the connection, if you have the means to pursue it, let me know in the comment box. I will provide you with all the necessary information that you need to help this girl to get her justice. Right? And secondly, I've said it over and over again. If you are a youth and you know that you are addicted to drugs, right, go for a rehab before the drugs destroy you pata. Because I've seen some cases in which a young guy will be willing to spend the last kobo in his pocket to get drugs. And to make it worse, this person never chop. This person is hungry, this person is dying of hunger. Instead of him to use that money to get food, he will spend the money on drugs just to feel high like the most high. Right? Now, this other one happened in Delta State some time ago. Just pay close attention.
MSP Edafe Bright, and this is Delta State Police Command. Drug abuse amongst our youth is particularly a disturbing one. Drug abuse is dangerous. The abuse of drugs such as codeine, tramadol, swinol, it kills the liver, it destroys the kidney, it destroys the heart. Oh, there was a story we did where the death of the young man was suspicious. We ran an autopsy, and the autopsy came out, including a toxicology report, that shows that it was concurrent abuse of drugs that led to the death of that young man. Our youth should, as much as they could, desist from drugs. This is the message from CP Olufemi Abaniwanda, the Commissioner of Police, Delta State Police Command. Our job is a proactive one. We ensure that we embark on proactive policing to see that most of these things are nipped in the bud. Just by Amokpe, I think Amokpe roundabout, they intercepted a truck carrying these drugs. Though that information came on time and the men laid siege waiting for them. Upon intercepting the drug was stacked with electronics items which include TV, fridge and others. If you look at this now, you will notice that it is packed in a TV carton. They stacked all these drugs inside a TV carton so that you wouldn't know. They ensure that they pack it in such a way that they will not be easily detected. These are tramadol tablets. And it's dangerous. It's addictive to the body. This is 100 milligram tramadol tablet. We have more than 5,000 tablets here. The man who is transporting it is here. He will tell us how come he was found in possession of all this. These are CSP codeine. This has been completely banned, not even controlled. It's banned. It's dangerous. Federal government, in their wisdom, have seen that this is capable of destroying some vital organs in our body, and they banned it. Lo and behold, we still look for means to transport these things, creating problem for our country and our people. See, in as much as our youth are abusing these things, we must checkmate the activities of these dealers, because when there is no buyer, there will be no seller. When there is no seller, there will be no buyer. But it is most important to curtail the excesses of these distributors, because they are the one creating this problem for us. Tramadol abuse starts with one tablet, from one tablet to two tablets. Before you know, even 4 tablets will not be enough for you. Codeine is here. They are quite expensive. We also have cartons start with swinol. Just look at them. Swinol. Please, I would like to understand how come this drugs business, they don't want to stop it. Who are patronizing? Who are these people patronizing them? How much are they selling it? Because one would wonder how much they are making. Despite our recovery on weekly basis, it is not going down. This is tramadol. All these are cartons of tramadol tablets. Just look at them. Look at codeine. Look at what we have here. I don't even know what this one. They now mixed it with some certain drugs that are not controlled. But the long and short story of it all is that we have too many codeines, too many tramadol, too many swinol. The dealer who detailed him to help him with these goods is presently at large. But my question is, why will a driver carry goods that he does not know content? According to him, he doesn't know the content. Let's interview him. Mr. Eze, what do you do for a living?
I'm a driver.
You are from where?
From Anambra State.
Who contacted you to bring all this?
It's one Mr. Abuchi.
Where does he stay?
Onitsha.
Oh, he stays in Onitsha. Who are you supposed to deliver it to?
It's the same. He loaded us that we meet him to Ogara.
Okay, he loaded you at Onitsha. Said you will meet him at Ogara.
where you used to discharge.
Okay, you have his phone number.
I have his phone number.
Okay, all right, no problem. I just asked that question. Are you aware that he gave you all these drugs to carry?
I'm not aware, sir.
How come? Where were you when they were loading the vehicle?
I were there, but they did not bring it openly like that. That's why I didn't know.
Okay.
Because according to them, for the station, their surplus station, they had some inside the new fridge.
Inside the new
fridge, yeah.
You see,
which I don't. What I'm seeing physically is fridge, washing machine, fan, all those electronics.
Okay. I understand your plight, but it is always very, very important for you to check what you are carrying. I don't know how you do it.
I know. I understand.
But check what you are carrying.
This
could have been human heads. This could have been AK-47 rifles. Do you understand? So when you are carrying goods, you must check to know what you are carrying. Well, I really hope the law is merciful with you. It is not we. We will just do an investigation, charge to court, and see what the court has to say about all this. Our audiences, please do as much as you can to talk to your wards, talk to your children, monitor what they do, because drug abuse is dangerous. Thank you.
Now, a lot have been said already by the Delta State PRO, the person of Bright Edafe, right? But if you still choose to continue in this way of life, if you still choose not to change, trust me, destruction awaits you at the end of the tunnel. So guys, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. I'll see you guys in my next video.